How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. KG is back. Just, 7 more of these games to go and we're done. We're done for the season, thankfully. Please be over soon. But listen, this is for the Fulham versus Leeds United preview. Huge game for Leeds United. I mean, how many times have we said that this season? But in the context of what's happened to us in our last 2 home games, this is absolutely huge. We've got to stop the rut here. Has to start against Fulham. Before we continue, obviously, you know the drill, people. Hit a like on the video. Best way to help the channel. Subscribe if you're not subscribed, and drop your comments. Just before I start, Mr. P, super thanks on the last video. Thank you so much. And Richard Taylor, who is a new member. Thank you very much. Just going to get this one out of the way here from St. Helen Whites. I know he's been or he or she has been answered in the chat, but I think a few people will be wondering it. Is Mitrovic back? He isn't. He's still on that 8-game ban, so he's done. Dan James won't be here even after his last showing because he's obviously on loan from us, so he won't be playing. But of course, they do have other threats in their team. Solomon being one. Harrison Reed in the midfield battle, which I want to touch on as well, is a decent player, but the way that we was in the midfield against Liverpool, he could have a lot more joy. And obviously Pauline is in there too, so they've got threats in the team. Willian is also playing as well. Yeah, Robbie, hey KG, hope you're well. Yeah, I'm good. I just want a result on this one, guys. I just want, a point wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but I'm looking at 3 points here. If we can't start targeting 3 points up in the next 3 games, listen, we got a huge rest of the month. We got Fulham away, obviously next, Leicester at home, and then Bournemouth away to end the month. We have got to get 3 points in some of these games. We have to. Let's have a look. Everyone just saying we're going down. Matt here saying they've got runners, which worries me, Kate. Yeah, they do. The only thing I can, and in a position we're in, we have to take every kind of hope and positive we can. Is that they're just hoping to finish as high as they can. They've got nothing to play for right now, except for obviously finishing a high league position. And we've talked about on here before how much those league positions are worth, 3 million each, over 3 million each. So, but we've got more on the line here. We've got more at stake. We've got a whole future on the line here because we cannot get relegated. And these players know it. I'm not going to go through too much of what Javi Gracia said today because it wasn't all that much. It was nothing that you wouldn't expect. Just that the players are hurting. Trust me, they feel it and everything else like that. All that stuff. What else of note? I'll obviously talk about Wöber and Meslier and Gnonto as well. But yeah, he says that the players are feeling it. They want to put it right. They were hoping to do that Monday. Well, I mean, hey, they didn't do it on Monday. Shout out to Ruben Science. I always get this wrong. Science, I'm going to say that for becoming a new member as well. Memberships are in the description and help out the channel a lot. One Rovers vlog, evening KG. Listen, One Rovers vlog. I hope we're not seeing you very soon, unless it's in the cup next year. But shout out to you, man. Big up to you in your channel. Nige D, no super malt coming out soon, I'm afraid. It's so funny. People think that I only drink super malt when we win. If that's the case, I'd never drink one, would I? But yeah, I hear what you're saying. Nate here saying, feel like it's definitely possible to get a win. Would be gutted to not get a point. Yeah, 100%. It would be nice for us to finally touch 30 points. My team not even on 30 points, man. It's a disgrace, man. It's a disgrace. But yeah, it would be nice for us to get at least a point in this one. But if we could get 3, just think about what a boost that would be as well, especially with us being the 12:30 kickoff on the day. It would make everyone below us just go, oh man, now we've really got to come out and get something. And by the way, Liverpool have got Forest next. And if Liverpool don't beat Forest, oh man, they better. I hope that we've given them a boost for the rest of the season. Okay. That's the one thing that I'd say from that one. One Rovers vlogs. I'm League One. Not sure you want to see us next year. The problem is though, if we get relegated, I can see us doing a real good avalanche into the League One. Yeah, it's happened before. So, but no, shout out to you. I hear you. Matt Goodall saying 5 points from the next 3 feels a stretch. Beating Leicester is the big one. Can see them turning Wolves over on Saturday. I mean, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen between Leicester and Wolves? Leicester did declare that Harvey Barnes won't be playing in that game, which was pretty big news. But again, this is something that we can I mean, we'll still have to keep an eye on their results. Of course we will. But imagine if we get 3 points on that 12:30 kickoff, it puts less pressure. If they win, so what? It's as you were, isn't it? With one less game to play. And that's all we can hope for, isn't it? That's all we can hope for at this point of the season. Manjit saying the goal difference really annoys me. It took a hammering, took an absolute beating. Really, really bad. Really, really bad. And it's he's come out today and defended Meslier. I'm not kind of doing this in any order, but so that would suggest to me that he's going to play. And if he's to play, he's got to step up. And I want to give out a little stat about Meslier in just a moment. Yeo28 with a super chat. Thank you so much. Keep the faith. Massive week ahead. Let's hope we're all smiling on your post match review. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to do a post match review or do a watch long for this one. I'm leaning more towards the post match review, but I'll decide probably tomorrow or early Saturday. So just keep the notification bell on for the channel. I'm very mindful. I'm very self-aware, and I've been watching the last two, and not very kind words have been coming out while we've been playing. And if we get another result like that, and as it's going on in the game, I don't want to show myself up, basically. So I'll think about it. But at this point in time, yeah, go with the post match review. Ruben here saying my biggest concern is the mentality of the players. They must be shaken and reeling when it comes to confidence. They need an up big time. Yes, they do. There's no way that you can take these kind of beatings and not have your confidence affected. There's just no way. The human psyche doesn't work that way. So they definitely need something. And it starts with getting on the front foot in this game, not sitting back and allowing the pressure from Fulham. It's about us imposing our game on them. Also goes with Meslier making the first save. And this was it's something I've mentioned throughout the season, people, and I'm sure people have noticed who are regular viewers of mine, that I've been mentioning about the first goal, first shot going in. I've mentioned it a few times this season, but it's an official stat. Who has conceded the most first shots on target in the Premier League in 22-23? It's us. Meslier with 13 games. So 13 games so far this season. No matter what the shot is, whether he could have saved it or not, it's 13 times that's happened. And it happened more under Jesse Marsh, where we would be in the game and on 22 minutes, all of a sudden they come down and score. Yes, we hadn't capitalized and got a goal ourselves, but it's the first shot. It's so important that we get that. And if people look underneath, they'll see Edison. They'll see Edison with 12. But if I need to explain the differences between what we've got and Man City have got, I don't think I need to do that with you. I'm not going to treat you like children, okay? I'm not going to treat you badly like that. But unlike Man City, who will just go and say, "Oh, you want to score one against us?" No, we do the opposite, don't we? We go, "Oh, damn, we're behind." You know what I mean? So that has to change. He's got to stop doing that, Eli Meslier. And it's funny. I don't know if you saw the Premier League tweet this week with week 31 saves from goalkeepers. I was just thinking, it must be nice, isn't it? Must be nice having a save. But also as well, Mike Maignan. I don't know if you've been watching the games this week, but Mike Maignan is the number one for France. He's AC Milan's goalkeeper who've just progressed to the Champions League semi-final. He's got some insane stat as well, by the way. This guy's been good since his Nice days, by the way. He's been nice since Nice. That's a bar. He's the undisputed French number one, but he's got a stat like he's got 14 penalty saves out of 45. That's an incredible record. That's an insane record. And if Meslier is looking to get anywhere near Mike Magnan's like number one spot in France, at the moment he's just cleaning his boots. So if he's looking to get into the squad to at least get past Areola, who doesn't even play that much for West Ham, kind of shows you where he's in the pecking order. He has to get better. And Javi Gracia is backing him. So we are going to see him, not Robles. I personally would have put in Robles because it's been so many bad performances from Meslier, but he's sticking with him. He's sticking with him in goal. So we just got to hope that he's cleared his head and he's on his game. Nate here saying JB versus over McKennie and Rucker. And this is something I was going to mention as well with Rucker, if he's to start. Hey, I need to see you, bro. I need to see you. I said on the recent video, I don't remember seeing anything to do with Rucker. People talk about McKennie losing the ball and us conceding a goal from that. I don't remember seeing Rucker do anything at all. I didn't remember seeing him track back. I don't remember him playing any passes forward. I don't remember seeing him do anything. So to me, that kind of says you're hiding. You need to step up. You know, Rucker and McKennie for me can go again. They're gonna need to step up though with Paulinho and Harrison Reed. Who's Harrison Reed isn't like technically brilliant or anything like that, but he's industrious and he does get forward when he's given the license to. So these guys need to step up in this game, big time. Um, Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Matt. Reed and Paulini could run over him. Yeah, Rucker. The thing with Rucker, it's something I've said before. He has to either stay forward or stay back because if he goes forward and he's meant to track back, it's not happening. He's not quick enough to do it. So he has to make sure whatever pass he's about to make is pinpoint. Otherwise, we're in trouble. As you've seen this week, you know, this week alone. Never mind Palace. You know, we do need to make sure that our midfield is in a good shape and ready for Fulham when they're on the attack against us. Yeah, Ben, that's how I feel. Rucker really went full ghost mode. I don't remember seeing anything, like not one thing at all. Um, Nate here saying thinking that McKennie and Rucker partnership was good because they played well against Forest is fool's gold. I think Nate, what it is that we are just so bad that any good um hold on, let me just get this start here. Any good performances that we get, we have to cling on to. That's where we are right now. That's the pathetic nature of where we are in the table. But also with that, and I'll couple it with the Tyler Adams question he was asked today. We've and you know, Gracia basically saying it's he's key that he's out because we've got nobody else that can do his job. And this is what I was trying to tell people when everyone was just saying it was Wöber only. I was like, nah, Tyler Adams gives you so much cover. And whether it's Rasmus in there or Ailing in there who leave their stations at right back, you'll see Tyler Adams yell at either one of them to, "Oi, I'm covering for you. I've either had to take a tactical foul or clean up your mess. Stay in your position." You know, and we miss that kind of grit, leadership, and play in the middle. We do. We miss him immensely. And again, he couldn't confirm if he was going to be out for the rest of the season. It's unlikely for me. Hamstring is no joke, but with everything crossed, I hope he is back. Um, Jimmy McShaw, who I think he's a pure American fan though. But shout out to you, Jimmy. Why all the hate for McKennie? What a joke! McKennie lost the ball. How many times do all of these other I think he means dingoes lose the ball in the game? And Jimmy, I've said this a couple of times, but I'll say it again. If you was to concede a goal every time you lose the ball up the pitch where McKennie did, every single game in the Premier League would end 6-6. Every single one, because it happens in nearly every game. The fact that nobody else engaged, nobody could, you know, Robin Koch didn't engage and get a tactical foul, wouldn't even be talking about McKennie losing the ball there. It wouldn't even be an issue. And I definitely agree with that. It's ridiculous to blame him for that goal when so much happened in between that and then Strout backing off and then Meslier being somewhere in his goal and Salah netting it 100%. Matt saying Matt Adams is our Kante, Casemiro, Rodri, etc. So big. Yeah, in context of what they are for their clubs, 100%. He's he's huge in that way, and I just wish people could have seen it. But obviously, sometimes you know you know you must feel if you can't hear it. People are seeing it now, aren't they? They're seeing how important he is to the team. Um, Yeah, John. Yeah, McKennie had a bad game, but he's trying to cover others who are bad. I would give Rucker much more stick than McKennie for that game because at least McKennie was getting on the ball, trying stuff. Rucker was I don't know what he was doing, man. I don't know what he was doing. Connor here saying Gnonto and Somerville were linking up great when they were on the pitch together. Take Harrison out for Somerville and Gnonto in behind Rodrigo instead of Harrison. Connor, I would absolutely go with that on the money. I would go with that. It depends as well if Sinistera is there. I didn't hear that bit, unfortunately. But yeah, I would make those changes. I would take Harrison out. It's time for him to come out. He's had three really quiet games since he signed the contract, as something I feared. He's been quiet. Aronson, I mean, the pressing from the front, I mean, it's cool, but can I get a little GA? You know, I'm not asking a defensive midfielder for GA here. I'm asking for an attacking midfielder. Can I get a little something from you? Now, and I want to make clear as well, I'm not trying to discount everything that Aronson did at the start of the season where he was getting assists robbed off him from Mr. Bamford for missing all those big chances. He's been robbed of assists this season, but now we're in this section of the season. I need you to do something. I need you to do something, Aronson. The pressing thing don't impress me. I'm sorry, you guys know me. I don't get impressed by just pressing with no purpose. You know what I mean? I need to see something with it. Um, Sorry, David, it's not happening. He's backed and he's coming. He's starting the game. I would think so. He's starting the game, but like you, David, and most other people, I would give Robles a chance. We got nothing to lose. We got nothing to lose. But if I'm the Fulham team, if I'm the Fulham coach, I'm telling you just to shoot. I'm telling you just to shoot at Meslier and see how his confidence is. See how he is today, because you've seen in the Liverpool game, they just had to shoot and it was in. It's so pathetic, so pathetic. But hey, here we are. Carl here saying Arison is good, but I can't stand watching him fall over 20 times a match. Should be dropped and used as super sub. Yeah, Arison for me at this point could be used more effectively as a sub that comes on in like the 70th minute when other players are getting tired. I think that would probably do him some good right now. But starting a game, he's not offering anything going forward. He's not offering anything going forward. I mean, John F here saying Aronson is our best progressive passer in the last few games. I mean, there's not been enough of it though, John. Not being enough. If he was that good as well, we would have seen a bit more of Rodrigo, getting on a couple of these chances, but there was nothing. There was nothing in the last game. Doesn't matter if it's Liverpool. It doesn't matter if it was Liverpool. Every game is a Premier League game. These guys are allegedly Premier League players, aren't they? Um, all right. Econ here. Meslier saved one shot on target during the Liverpool match. Tremendous. Uh, but yeah, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Ooh. Yeah, something else I noted as well. Wöber, if he's back, and I know this may sound a bit crazy with how poor he's been, but I would leave him with Robin Koch. If Wöber is back, and it sounds like he is, Javi was saying that he's been training much more and he'll be much better prepared for this Saturday. If he's back and starting, which it sounds like he will be, I would keep the Koch and Wöber partnership going, because it wasn't perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but they did strike up a good understanding. If Koch needs Wöber to hold his hand for the rest of the season, come on, hold my hand, daddy. Pause, pause. Um, then so be it. Because for me, at least that partnership has got something behind it. What would you guys do in that position at this point? Because the back line has to change in some way. You can't have this back line conceding so many and keeping the same ones together, same people together. Yeah, Econ, yeah, Koch is a different player with Wöber beside him. Yeah, it's insane, isn't it? Insane how much that it helps him. But we've seen him. It's not like he's outstanding, but he's much better than what we've seen without him. So 100%, I'd keep those two together. Trav here saying, agree, KG. Koch is a confidence player like most of the team. Yeah. And Wöber inspires confidence in Koch. He does. Definitely 100% on that one. Russ here, anybody got a run? Come on, man. Come on. We got to go into this one with a. It's hard though, isn't it? It is hard. We've been stuffed twice, like in a row. It's insane, but Nick G, this was something else I was going to mention, and you've got there ahead of me. Even in all in KG, I think an away game might be good timing to take pressure off a little. I think I was going to mention that, Nick. That was in my notes. I think an away game at this point, after the two games at Ellen Road, if we had another one, can you imagine the pressure and the tension in the ground? I don't think these guys would cope. So I think it is a good thing that we are playing away. I know it's in London, which is a bit of a rough patch for the Leeds United team, but 100%, I think an away trip is definitely needed before we go home to Leicester on Tuesday. 1,000%. Oh man, oh no. Gavin here saying we can't go with Rasmus. He's blown his chances now. I mean, it's. I mean, he's had one chance since coming back, Gavin. But I'm in not agreement, but I do think that Ailing will be back in. I think it was a case of it's one of those things where you're not the preferred choice. You need to doubly impress over the senior guy. And I think that he didn't do enough to impress. So I do think Ailing will come back in for this. If Rasmus plays, great, but just stop keeping everyone on side, please. That would be a nice start. But I do think Ailing will probably come back in because you've seen it before with this. I mean, it happened with Llorente. Llorente had a few bad games. Cooper comes back in. Cooper has loads, Cooper has a load of bad games and he stays in. It's just the way it works here at this club. So I do think Ailing comes back in. Uh, Nida Rasmus is Seth Johnson. Oh, it's a coin flip. I can't stand. Oh man, don't get me started on Seth Johnson. um, Sam Smith here. Anyone at right back will do. And this is it for me. If Ailing comes back, I'm not asking for Ailing to be great. I'm not even asking for him to be good. I just want him to be disciplined, concentrate. You know, stay in your station at right back. We need you there. It's going to be Willian up against him more than likely. Just focus on the game, man. Don't do any bozo mistakes. I know he's got the bozo gene in him, but just knock it out yourself for one day. Again, pause on that one, but just knock it out of yourself for one day, please. Leave the bozo gene in Leeds and just do a steady job. Just give me a 6 out of 10. I'm literally asking dirt level expectations here, but just give me a 6 out of 10 instead of dropping the twos and threes you've been doing before the Liverpool game. Um, let's have a look. Trav here is asking me, oh, man, Dom J, you're asking a lot from Ailing. I know. Trav here is Forshaw better than JB? Need one of them instead of Aronson and someone try and get some control back in midfield. Wingers won't get service if we can't get the ball in the middle. Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to hear Forshaw in the starting lineup. I'm not going to lie. I've seen a couple people say it. A couple people ask me on Instagram. I'm sorry, I'm not going to answer it. You know what? The thing for me is that I can understand when people ask for Ailing and Cooper because they do have equity. They've got the promotion equity. They've been a big part. They've played a lot of games for Leeds United. The Forshaw shouts, I don't understand. The guy's not a Premier League footballer and he did nothing coming up. The most impressive thing that Forshaw has done besides his heat maps is come back from a career threatening injury. And that I give him 100% respect for because it looked like his career was done. You know, his hip, it looked like it was done at like 28, 29, and he came back. But as far as footballing ability, sorry, if we're gonna go forward, we need to see JB in there over Forshaw for me 100% of the time. I don't care about no heat maps, and he didn't do nothing coming getting promoted. By the way, all he did was go on a podcast and say these guys are definitely going up. He just put the pressure on everyone else while he was out injured. He doesn't have the same equity in my eyes anyway as the other guys do. But I just don't. Yeah, for me, JB comes in, but I don't think he's going to play anyway. So I think he'll probably go with someone like Forshaw if he changes it from a 2 to a 3. Otherwise, I would expect Rucker and McKennie to play. Um, Max H here saying, I'd rather Somerville over Aronson. He actually wins his free kicks. Somerville progresses the ball. It doesn't matter how much like little football you give him, he'll always take somebody on. He's not a confidence player, which I think rubs a few people the wrong way. He actually believes in his talent as he should. You know, if you're going to be at this level, you need to believe in yourself. So yeah, I would absolutely put Somerville in. I'm not sure over Harris Aronson unless you're going to bring in another midfielder like JB in there. But yeah, I would bring him in over Harrison for sure. Um, I mean, Darren here, Forshaw can retain the ball. McKennie and Marco give the ball away. I mean, these are things that we're just making up. Retain the ball how? When his heat map comes out, it never has numbers about successful passes or anything else like that. It just tells you where he's been on the pitch because all he does is get busy around the pitch. He gets himself in different areas and looks busy. Retain the ball. We're making up attributes for the guy now. He is not a Premier League footballer, and no one can convince me otherwise. This guy should be kicking it around in League One. Let's be real. Oh man. Sam here saying JB is quality. I've watched a lot of the under 21s. He should be starting when we don't have Adams. His passing ability, composure, winning the ball back ability is a cut above, and he's more athletic. The one thing that I do remember with Forshaw is that he's very stiff. Like it's like watching a corpse trying to move. I mean, I just want the standards to be raised a little. And when we're begging back for Forshaw, yeah, I don't want, I can't hear that, man. I can't hear that. That's it. As you know what, Jasbeer, Forshaw missed the sideways. That is true. But I'm okay with that when it's players like Forshaw doing it in certain areas because these guys have to give the ball off to the better players. They do. They if you're going to win the ball back, you give it off to the better players. That's awesome. That's what a real defensive midfielder does. But he doesn't do that. And he never did it when he had his run in the team either. It's just that people are now trying to make up attributes for him, as it always happens with these guys. Um, Nate here, JB, Rutter, Gnonto, and Somerville, a man can dream. Yeah, I don't think you're going to see that, Nate. Yeah, so keep dreaming. Um, keep dreaming. But yeah, what else have I got here? What else have I got? Ooh, yeah. Well, can't wait for the season to be over. I actually wrote that down. I can't wait for the season to be over. Oh yeah, just a note for anyone that doesn't go on social media just because it's only been announced today. Because I know that people plan their trips in advance. The West Ham game isn't the Saturday the 20th of May anymore. It's now Sunday, May 21st. So I hope you haven't booked any tickets or anything else like that. So there you go. Just letting you know now. That's public service announcements there. Um, Econ here saying, I'm assuming Greenwood ain't interested in training. I wouldn't think so. And these are the kind of players for me, the Forshaws, Sam Greenwood, and he's useful on set pieces. Great. We need to be moving these guys on in the summer. Forshaw, I think, will go on a free, which is right. But yeah, we need to be moving some of these guys on. Otherwise, we're always going to be in this position. Look at the options we're trying to scrape in here. Forshaw, Greenwood. It's insane. It's insane, isn't it? Um, another note before we do score predictions and end this thing is whatever the messages that Gracia has been giving at halftime clearly aren't working. All right. We've seen the last two games where our second halves have been catastrophic. So for me, whatever his team talk is at halftime, whatever's going on, they need to adjust that in whatever way. They need to adjust that. Uh Econ, yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly. Wöber can take free kicks, and he should be on there. He should be on there. Max H is saying Rutter is owed a goal at Craven Cottage. It's his time. Yeah, yeah. I know. A couple people are asking me about the whole Phil Haight article, but what I'll say is that Phil Haight is a journalist. He's not a Leeds United fan. So, and basically the context of the article was that the money should have been spent elsewhere. It's just that the 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 way that the tweet was, it looks like he's really like burying Jorginho Rutter when he's already being kicked in the back already. But what I'll say is that he's a journalist and they need to generate clicks. I'm a YouTuber, and I guess in some ways that I don't really do that kind of clickbait stuff. But he's a journalist. He's a flat out journalist where clicks are everything. And unfortunately, when it's a big topic on Twitter, those guys always see it and then they'll do an article on it because they'll know that people will click on it. And unfortunately, negativity sells way more than positivity will ever do. That's just the way of the world. We know that. So yeah, I've no issue on it, but just form your own opinions. That's all I'd say. Yeah, Rutter hasn't really gotten a fair go of it, and that's what I'm saying. And if he is to start this weekend, if he's to start and play in behind Rodrigo and he doesn't perform well, then we can have a conversation about it. But I'm not going to have a conversation about it when he's been brought on up 5-1 and 4-1 down respectively with like 15 minutes to go. I'm just not going to do it. And yeah, Nick, he is. Yes, he is a Hearts fan. That is correct. That's what I'm saying, Phil. If he's told by the Athletic to go and cover another football team, he's going to have to do it. And then the Leeds United thing is in the rear view mirror. So yeah, just take it for what it is, man. He's a journalist. Don't take it personal. Um, but yeah, shall we do score predictions now? Let's do that now. Yeah, let's get into it. Score predictions, people. And if you're watching the replay, just put them in the comments below. Uh, Nigel as well, just to clear this up as well. KG, what's your thoughts on apparently the 49ers made back out for relegated? There's nothing official to do with that. And also as well, people forgetting that I think if anything, it would just be a reduced price for the club if we do get relegated. Fingers crossed we don't. But they were big in the, speaking of him, Jorginho Rutter, they were big in on the deal where they agreed the structured payments for it. So I don't think they're going to back out. I just think it's going to be a lower price for Radrizzani, which is another like really weird. Again, everyone thinks differently, but I don't see how that would make any fan feel better if Radrizzani gets less for Leeds United. I don't know how that makes you sleep better at night. I know for me it won't. And I'm sure for Radrizzani, I'm sure that he'd settle okay with 150 million for a then championship club, but it does nothing for me. I don't want to see us back in the championship. So yeah, it's funny what little things just get people joy, and I don't know, that doesn't give me any joy. Let's just because I think the sale will happen in the summer and we go to the 49ers. There we go. I've been yapping there. Okay, Mr. Anthrope, 3-2 to Leeds. Shane Hibbo, 5-1 Palace. Oh man, come on. 7 St. Helens Whites, 3-1 after going 1-0 up. Oh, imagine that. Laurent is saying 3-1 win, but can't see us keeping a clean sheet. Yeah. 2-1 to Leeds. Yeah. Let's have a look. Let me go back up because I missed a lot. Ruben here saying 4-3 to Leeds. Oh man, what a game. Don J saying 3-2 to Fulham. Jasby is saying 2-1 to Leeds. Darren's going 3-0 to Fulham. Imagine the morale after that one. Early game on Saturday, losing 3-0. 3-1 to Fulham. Chris Richardson saying 3-1 to Leeds. Yeah. And you see Fulham replacing us in that American tournament. I think it's fine for American fans because Fulham. What is it? Some of the US fans in here, please tell me the nickname that you got for Fulham because I have heard it before, but I've just forgotten it. Um, there is a nickname that you've got for Fulham, isn't there? Because they do have a few Americans there in Anthony Robertson. Of course, Tim Ream's been reborn this season. He's in the twilight of his career and he's having probably one of the best seasons he'll ever have. So they have a few American players there already, don't they? So I don't think that America's missing out on much, but obviously I think we've got the bigger names on that. Yeah, that's it, isn't it? Yeah, Full America. Yeah, Fulham America. That's the one. Yeah. There we are. Um yeah, Max. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's the point, KG. We got to play early. We play it early, got to knock the confidence out of them losers below us 100%. Let's set the tone and really knock it out. But listen, with Forest, as we say, they've got Liverpool. Let me just have a quick look while I'm here. Uh yeah, I mean Southampton have got Arsenal away tomorrow. Nothing's guaranteed, but come on now. Arsenal, come on now. Don't be silly now. Palace and Everton play each other. Everton are away at Palace. Leicester at home to Wolves. And then Sunday, is there anything Sunday? Bournemouth are at home to West Ham. So, hoping for a draw in that one, you'd think. And that's about it. Yeah. So some tough fixtures. Some tough fixtures. So as the team playing at half 12, let's set the tone and really make it tough for them. But yeah. I think that's it, guys. Is there anything else? Is there anything else that I may have missed? Let me know. I don't think there is. Mm, 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 mm. No, I don't think there's anything else. Okay. JP here. KG, what do you think of all this foreshore will be our savior talk and that we need to start Cooper and Alien because they get it? Yeah. I've seen this, and obviously this has been in my comments quite a few times in terms of they get it. I mean, you and I get it too. Doesn't mean that we should play. But it's this thing now where because the performances are poor and everyone is just trying to go for whatever they can grab onto. And yeah, Cooper has started to get those imaginary attributes again. Always happens. But I even said if Wöber isn't fit, Cooper comes in for me over Strauch because Strauch has not been good. So I would have even started him, but I'm not going to start telling you that he's this great defender. But at least he would be a little bit more physical with these Fulham players, which we need. We definitely need that. But yeah, all this we get it stuff. It's all for me. That's old school talk. It's old school talk. It's very. I think it's more localized as well. because you know the key thing for a good team is just good recruitment. It's as simple as that. I'm sure Brighton players haven't gone to and looked at every seagull, every beach, and gone, "Oh, I'm really taking in this culture." They're just good players that are playing football. You know what I mean? You always get to know the history of the club once you're there. Of course you do. But it's just about being a good player, being a confident player. And this get Leeds and British players doing this, or Prem Proven, that old one. Prem Proven as well, by the way. You want a little example of Prem Proven. I'm seeing Danny Ings. Danny Ings isn't doing that much at West Ham. He hasn't done he hasn't done that much at West Ham. You look at Tottenham with Basuma, Prem proven him with Brighton, and he hasn't performed. And I'm disappointed because I like Basuma a lot, but he hasn't done the business. Richarlison, Prem proven with Everton, 60 million, and he's got one league goal this year. Not one league goal. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter about Prem proven, it doesn't matter about nationality. You just have to be a good player. Simple as that for me. Um get Leeds. I mean, it's all that he knows the club stuff. It's just all cliche football stuff. He knows the club. All that stuff. It's all funny. Um, yeah, Freddie Mac. Do they do psychological tests on players when they recruitment? I think that's more in the when they talk to him, like the director of football and manager will speak to the player. But like with anything on anything to do with anything, if you're on a job interview, you're giving the best version of yourself, aren't you? You know what I mean? You're gonna give the best version of yourself, and yeah, we just need to do better with that. And that's it for me as well. That's why I'm saying in terms of the summer, I just can't wait for I just can't wait for the summer so we can start thinking about transfers in, outgoings, and hopefully with a new recruitment team because it is time for a change. That's something that we definitely have to do because you just never mind the football club being what we support as a business. When you've lost 40 million for a player that you never gonna even sign, someone's head's got to roll for that. Someone has to pay for that. You know what I mean? Um, so yeah, we need to just start afresh, get a new recruitment team in, get real Premier League quality players that will help us push up. I'm not saying Prem proven, I'm saying Premier League quality. And there's players out there. I've got a little list. I've got a list as I did last season, but it all depends on if we survive. Because if we don't survive, this list is no good to anybody. All right. So there we are. But yeah, listen, people, look out for the video, whether it's going to be a watch along. I'm probably leaning more towards a match reaction at this point. So yeah, and I will see you on Saturday and we'll go through the game together. Hit a like on the video, subscribe if you're not subscribed. Oh gosh, I've tried to go without giving my score prediction. Then I thought I could get away with it. I'm gonna say with Wöber and Gnonto starting and back, I'm gonna say 1-1. That's my hope, but I'm hoping no, that's what I think, but I hope that we can get 3 points. So 1-1. People, see you in the next video. Appreciate you all. Bye.